before I go to break, I don't take the purest, cleanest Nation iodine because I'm worried about all the leaking reactors. I mean, that's secondary. And yes, if your thyroid's filled with the good iodine, it makes it a lot healthy, and so it doesn't absorb those type of isotopes. I take Survival Shield Nation Iodine X2 because of the bad halogens, the chlorine, the fluoride, the bromine, the bromide, that absolutely fill your thyroid and other glands and destroy your body and shut you down. The good halogen fills it up, lets your body operate. Your thyroid then produces things using the iodine that you have to live. We have it 20% off, the very best Nation iodine out there, Survival Shield Nation Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. It is 20% off the already discounted price for a limited time, InfoWarsLife.com, or simply call toll-free 888-253-3139. We also have the new Vitamin Mineral Fusion with the amino acids and more. Just drink that a couple times a day. You get everything you need. So many people are deficient or their guts aren't absorbing the hard vitamins. This is liquid. It's amazing. We think it's the best formula out there. It's excellent. And when you purchase it, it also funds our operation. InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and fund the tip of the... This is Dave Mustaine. I'm going to almost have this as theme music when jihad takes place against the West because this song's called The Threat is Real. And people really have trouble saying, wait, you expose false flags, you expose how our government's funding ISIS and Al-Qaeda and letting them take over countries, but then you say the jihad is real and radical Islam's a threat. Yes, criminal elements of our government and the multinationals are allied with radical Islam and are financed by Saudi Arabia, who's bought off much of our government, and are using them as a proxy army to take over countries that are their enemies and to attack us in the West so they can take our freedoms here as well. That is very easy to understand. But our critics try to act like we are not making sense or we're contradictory. Joe, doesn't that make perfect sense? And that's what declassified documents and Cy Hirsch and the Pentagon are all telling us as well. And I'm not here to lionize the Pentagon. It's got its history of problems. But at least when it got 4 years ago to the point of openly backing Al-Qaeda to take over Syria, where they'd already killed 200,000 Christians, now it's another 100,000, the military said no and began to give the intel to the Russians to quietly come in and back the Syrians. Now, we told you that almost 4 years ago with Colonel Schaefer and others here. All of it came out. That is so epic. So the good news is our military didn't engage in mutiny against Obama. He's a hijacker of the country. Just because some guy puts on this, the flight suit of the captain of the plane and he's going to fly it into a building doesn't mean you have to sit there and then salute Obama. The guy is a rogue president, and that's not rhetoric. Merkel's rogue, opening Germany up. Hollande's rogue. They're all rogue. They're selling us out because they used our open society to bring us down. They want to work with authoritarianism. They love radical Muslims, and the radical Muslims will buy them off with hundreds of billions of dollars, and they've done it. You're witnessing an internal coup. Joe Biggs.
Exactly. Former Navy SEAL Carl Higbee, I just interviewed him yesterday. He was forced out of the SEALs and then given an other than honorable discharge after being pushed out and had honorable discharge, was then given an other than honorable discharge for going on Fox News, Fox and Friends, and speaking about President Obama and how he was bad for the country and how he was infiltrating the military. And now we have soldiers marching around in red high heels. We have leadership in our military that are
putting women who've never been in combat over special forces.
Over Rangers, 75th Ranger Battalion. That's ridiculous. Leading people in combat. How can you leave someone in combat if you've never been in combat?
Well, I mean, look, I've not been in the military, but I've studied military history up one side and down the other because it's so interesting. In the past, especially in special units, they never put people in charge of those unless they were like the meanest, baddest, smartest dude ever who'd have like 2 Congressional Medal of Honor, stuff like Smedley Butler, or people like General Boykin who'd been in hundreds of battles, and personally killed over 100 guys barehanded and all this stuff. And now they're going to put women who've never been in combat. It'd be bad enough because they don't have any women that have actually done that. I mean, that is insane.
The only women I've ever seen in combat have done convoy security. They were 88 mics, which are truck drivers. And it happens if you're driving down the road, you're going to get either hit by an IED or catch.
Well, it's nothing against women. The point is you don't put women in the head of special forces.
But here's the thing, though. We live in a society now where we can have a white woman who identifies as a black woman, Rachel Dolezal. I think if that can happen, then she should be able to get reparations for slavery. But on top of that, we live in such a country where people can identify as other things and then carry on those positions. So I guess these women are identifying as people who have served in combat and know what's going on and now think they can take that role on.
That'd be like taking me who's never been in combat and then just making me the top general.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't get why. And it's Obama. What does he do? He goes and speaks at La Raza events. He stands up for the Muslim Brotherhood.
All they're doing is stirring up the fall of the country. They are literally bringing the country down.
They're lowering the border.
Shutting our power plants off is an act of war.
Why is Trump not popular? Because he wants to build a wall. He wants to stop this immigration influx coming in.
By the way, speaking of that, I want to commend Sean Hannity and Trump for having the courage to come out and say, hey, it's rape. I want to play this clip briefly. The Clintons want to say, hey, he hit on women when he wasn't married. Oh, that's so horrible. But Clinton settled all these rape cases. Here it is last night. Let's go to this clip.
Done. How big an issue should that be in the campaign? For example, I looked at the New York Times. Are they going to interview Juanita Broderick? Are they going to interview Paula Jones? Are they going to interview Kathleen Willey? In one case, it's about exposure. In another case, it's about groping and fondling and touching against a woman's will.
And rape.
And rape.
And big settlements, massive settlements.
$850,000 for Paula Jones.
Lots of other things. And
all right, and rape. So stay there, Joe. I want to come back and get more to this jihad. Is this tattoo? I want to open the phones up for callers, especially former military or current, to discuss this. And do you disagree with this, or is this the total setup to bring the country down? Because I'm not trying to be alarmist. That's the only way this could go. They don't bring in millions of these people and not have huge sleeper cell activity. I mean, we're going to see stuff probably 30 times worse than what we're seeing right now on a weekly basis, bare minimum. I am your host, Alex Jones. We are 33 minutes into this worldwide broadcast. Paul Joseph Watson's going to be joining us from London, England in the third hour, and then Anthony Gucciardi will be here in studio in Austin, Texas in the fourth hour. And Joe, I talked about this with you yesterday, and I know you're a busy guy, and this aircraft obviously got taken down. The mainline intelligence groups are saying it all points towards jihadis, but I know that Anthony will probably want to do this, so during the next break, talk to him. That Navy SEAL interview you did last night,
yeah,
it was on the nightly news, extremely powerful. I know there's a part 2, hasn't even aired yet. We're going to put it out on Infowars.com, talking about what's happening in the military, talking about Benghazi. The interview with Tonto, the only Army guy that was there, what a hero. That was incredible. Thank you for getting that interview. We need to make a big deal out of these interviews because they went on Megyn Kelly once, but they really haven't been a lot of other places, and this is important. And so, yeah, I mean, our interview here made some news, and it got a couple 100,000 views on YouTube and maybe 1 million on Facebook. Benghazi hero, the fall of Hillary is imminent. She should be in prison, not running for president. And that's what Chris Tonto Peranto had to say. Just what the archetypal hero, Christian soldier, you name it. Well, you interviewed this Navy SEAL by one of his buddies and one of your friends, and just as powerful info. But dealing with other corruption, we need to get these interviews out. They need to be a big deal. There it is, former Navy SEAL talks enemies foreign and domestic. And, that's an important headline, but we need to give it a headline on what he actually talked about. So briefly, we're going to change that headline, Joe. This is what we do. Everybody's great. We just do full spectrum analysis on ourselves, live on air. I mean, I saw the interview. It was powerful, but the gist of it, what was most important about it so people can go see it?
Well, basically, the gist of it is what we were talking about earlier, is how our government is hijacking the military. They're literally flushing out great operators like Carl Higbie, and they're bringing in people who have no experience in combat whatsoever. We have females taking over different schools now. We have them the head of this and that without the experience. I mean, it's like me going to a regular psychologist here and having them help me deal with PTSD.
So the headline is Navy SEAL, Obama sabotaging the military?
Yes, exactly.
There's your headline. And some of the amazing stories he talked about.
Oh, there's going to be many more. I'm going to start doing like a series where I'm sitting down talking with these elite soldiers. We go outside. We have a heart-to-heart discussion about the missions they were involved in, talk about how it's affecting their lives, how it's affected them afterwards with the transition, with their marriages, and then shoot some guns. It's going to be really good. We're going to get a lot of great stories, and I think it's going to be fun for everybody to watch.
Well, great job, Joe, the prolific work you and the rest of the crew are doing. We're trying to hire 2 more camera people right now. Just because we have a bottleneck with all of our reporters and producers and researchers getting it all on air. But we're trying to hire 2 more camera people right now. And that's where this comes in. We're going back to Joe and your phone calls and some of these clips. The toll-free number to join us on air to talk about this latest Egypt Air that disappeared into the Mediterranean off the coast of Greece. The fact that Trump has come out and talked about the rape word, the R word, that none dare speak, that people are literally blackballed and blocked on CNN, Fox, and other channels like MSNBC. If you talk about it, reporters have come out and said, I'm told up front, don't talk about the rape. Even Newsmax, I've been told by reporters, we're going to be breaking this soon. Not to go after Newsmax, but it just has to happen. I mean, I like Newsmax. I've done ad deals with them, vice versa. But, you know, reporters are about to go on, and then they pop in your ear and say, do not talk about rape when Clinton settled. I mean, 3 of these things, some stuff's going on.
I mean, it'd be like if I was assaulted and then a reporter goes, well, this guy was assaulted. Now, he said the rape word because these women have used it before. So why is it wrong for him to come out and go, all right, these women said they were raped. There's a problem.
Absolutely. So we're going to get more into that in a moment. Of course, Drudge isn't censoring. That's why Drudge is numero uno right now. Trump drops the R word with an image of Bill Clinton. We'll put that back on screen. If you're a radio listener and you're tuning in going, why are they talking about seeing this or showing that? We simulcast television. We've done it for 15, 16 years of the 21-year history, so we can actually show folks what we're talking about. Because so many times mainstream media would say I was just making something up. Even if it was a news article, now we show everything that we talk about. Trump drops R-bomb on Clinton. That's up on Infowars.com as well. The toll-free number to join us on air is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Now, before I go back to these clips and Joe Biggs and your calls, we sell water filtration systems that are the best rated out there at very affordable prices that are gravity fed. So it's not some big house system that's constantly having problems and costs $10, $15, $20,000. It costs, you know, $250, $200, $300, depending on which unit you get. Does tens of thousands of gallons per unit in its lifetime. Replacements are very inexpensive. We have the ProPure family of stainless steel gravity-fed systems and their shower filters. We have the Alexa Pures that are excellent as well. We have side-by-side studies on each one. They're apples and oranges. They're both excellent. We have other families of systems. We have the ProPure water pitcher that's $69, has really powerful filters, systems that have just garbage filters that are basically charcoal that just cuts out the bad taste are $60-something. This has a first-rate filter that cuts out hundreds of things and reduces hundreds of other things down to non-detectable levels. Radioactive isotopes, glyphosates, fluoride, you name it. InfoWarsStore.com, promo code WATER. You get 10% off at checkout on top of the other discounts. Free shipping with promo code WATER. Free shipping on orders of $50 or more. You also get 10% off when you sign up for auto ship for nutraceuticals or any other things like non-GMO coffee. We have over 1,000 different great items that I personally use, that I love, that my crew loves, that are the highest rated. If I see this highest rated car charger that's the third the size of a briefcase and has all these different plugs for every device you can imagine, I get it, I test it, it works great on my car. I then buy 5,000 of them and sell it for lower than Amazon. That's the kind of stuff I do. That's what you get at InfoWarsStore.com. Now, sometimes we sell things that aren't as low as Amazon, but buy them from us to fund the operation. I desperately need 2 more great camera people. I desperately need a couple more reporters, okay, and a couple more writers. We need like 6, 7 people, and I don't want to get any bigger. I can then cover basically 2 or 3 stories at once, have a crew in the field at all times, and have the money to send them there. But I want to thank you for your support, but when you buy the products, it funds it. And separately, finally, if you aren't putting the good halogen in your body, you're insane. There are dozens of bad halogens, fluoride, bromine, chlorine, you name it. They're in everything. They're permeating our bodies. They're giving us all sorts of glandular problems. Thyroid problems are off the chart. X2 is the only good halogen. It is pure, true atomic iodine. And it's what your thyroid, other glands operate off of. It's like oil in an engine. You've got to have it. Without it, you die. We've got videos about the iodine conspiracy, the halogen conspiracy. They're all there on the site. It's got a 5.0 review. Look at that. 98% overall favorable rating on third-party sites like Power Reviews, InfoWarsLife.com. Now is the time to try X2. Now, talk to your physician first, because if you have some undiagnosed thyroid problem that you didn't know about because it's so full of bad halogens and stuff, it can offload those. You can feel toxic. I mean, this is powerful. So there are some issues, even though it's generally seen as safe. You need to consult your physician before you take it, or take very low dosages of it, because it is like a day and night situation when you start taking real iodine and what it does in your body. So talk to your physician first. That's why it says on the label, talk to your physician first. And before you breathe air, talk to your physician. Before you walk, before you talk, We must be in a nanny state and talk to physicians first.